hope you're going to build a business. Know it.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the 2%er Show, the real-time, real talk of the journey in business.
Right? Do we want more than that? Yes. We want so much more than that. We want properties. We want different streams of income. We want multiple ways, things that would interest us. But hey, if we talk to the young entrepreneur that just wants to find his place to start a business and needs someone to talk to become a mentor, or the person that maybe has their own business right now, I've been doing it for years, and they never got it to where they wanted to go. They just can sustain their own life, and they want more. Hey, we're here for you too, because at least you've made it to some part, but now you want more. You're going to have to change. You're going to have to find some other people that know more than you, and we're going to be the avenue to help you get there. Whoever we can point you to the direction to find, we'll love doing that.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what our goal as a 2%er is, to get you to whatever height that you want to get to, and us be a part of it somehow, information-wise, motivation-wise. I think people are going to get a lot from our failures, because we got a bunch, dude.
Yeah, that's and that's what we agreed upon with this show, is we weren't going to be the show to give you all this flash and all this stuff and all this fake crap that's out there. We wanted to show you
real life, real talk.
Life, you know what I mean? Because the grind is real, folks, and a lot of you understand that. Those of you that are younger still don't understand that. You're still in high school in your bubble, or you're just starting to get into college and thinking that, life is a bowl of cherries and things are great, and you were like the king in high school, or the queen, the prom queen in high school. But once you get dumped out into that world, things really do change. And a lot of the times what ends up happening is you start realizing, this is what we realize, is that your whole schooling didn't really prepare you for a lot of the crap you're going to face in the world.
No, it's not designed to do that.
That's right.
And logically speaking, if you just think about it, not that we hate school. Hey, you have to go to school for certain things. You want to be a lawyer, you got to go to school to be a lawyer kind of idea, right? But if you think about it, if you want to get into business, what does learning about information and old history of something from someone who most of the time has not even done it in that industry? Mm-hmm. They're just teaching you from a textbook.
Right.
It doesn't help you to learn what exactly to do. Now, are there some teachers and professors who are out there who are in the industry and teaching you what it is? Yeah. There are a lot out there. The school system tries to, coddle what they're saying to the students, because it's not really beneficial for them to do that, because then they tell you you don't really need it. But there's different ways to learn different things. School's one, internet's one. We just learn as we go. We learn from experience. Experience is one of the best teachers, 100% one of the best teachers out there. And we have so many failures that we want to share with you, because we want to know your failures, because we want you to know at the end of the day, it's not a failure. It's just a step that you took and you figured out that didn't work, or this didn't work, or how you're going to get better, because you have to know that. And most people, I'm telling you, they don't want you to be into business at all, because they're afraid that you're going to fail. Dude, it's going to happen. Yeah. Like, I still fail today. I love it. Now I'm not. I crack up at all the stuff that we used to do to make things work.
Yeah.
Like so many different things. Tons of it. Multi-level marketing,
that's a talk in itself.
Right? Oh, yeah. We're going to have a talk about that. Stay tuned for one of those shows.
Or in other words, network marketing.
Marketing.
And we don't like demonize that.
No, not at all.
Nothing like that. Like, I actually feel like that was a good business school in itself.
Like, oh, yeah.
That industry, for those of you that are thinking about going to college because, you don't know what else to do, but you want to be in business, the best thing to do is not go to college and join a network marketing company.
Go like I did, and then do that part-time.
True. Because
that's one positive. That's a positive.
Right, because college is really going to give you the theory, the definitions. You get to learn a lot of the terminology, but you're going to live it out in the real world with, like, really not a lot of money down, you know what I mean? And you get to be in a community of other people that have tried to do that, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's another talk.
Yeah, there's positive and negatives of network marketing, and we'll show you both. But that's one way that we've learned a lot from
affiliate marketing, and things.
There's so many ways to make money, but at the end of the day, is that, do you want to get into business? Do you want to do it? Like, don't let anyone tear you down. That's not gonna happen. I mean, trust me. If you have a mindset that this is where you're going to be, just like we are, there's nothing that's going to stop you. We're just here to help along that way.
Yeah.
Any way, shape, or form. Even in the basement. That's where we start. You got to start somewhere.
But that, you know what? Again, this is how
I love it.
This is how most startups start. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why it's called the startup.
Yeah, you start out, in the garage or basement. It's no more American than that. Starting a business from your garage or basement.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's actually the cool thing to do now. Entrepreneurship is cool.
It is.
Now.
I remember. You know what's crazy? I remember, and Gary Vaynerchuk talks about this a lot. But I do remember when no one really cared about that, and it wasn't cool. It was like this. This thing that crazy people
you
thought
were rogue. Yeah, you were a rogue person if you wanted.
You were considered rogue. You were considered like
entrepreneur.
Like what are you thinking about? You need to get good at school and things like that. Like I remember hearing from my father a lot. Like you just got to do better in school, do good in school. Meanwhile, I would go to school and sell like candy to the kids, and have a blast doing that, make some money, and then get in trouble for doing that inside the school system. And then I remember one time one of my brothers actually got caught selling candy in the school, and the principal wanted to meet with our parents. They thought that we were selling for our parents because they thought we were that broke. In reality, like it was my idea as a kid back then, because I saw somebody do it. I was like, oh look, somebody's actually selling candy for like $1. I'm like, well, maybe I needed to get in on this, and I did. I convinced my parents to buy me at wholesale at like one of these warehouse places.
For 75 cents.
And I brought it down to 75 cents, and I started hustling that too. But then I took it a step further and recruited my brothers to do it as well, because one is a year younger and the other one is like a few years younger as well. So we were all basically in the same school around the same time, and we were just so happy to do that. And then one of them got caught. That's when we got in trouble.
The operation got shut down.
They got shut down, And funny enough, here's the crazy part, that nowadays there's an organization out there that actually comes into schools and allows kids to do this, but within their box, within their format. You know what I mean? Like they give them maybe a project to do, and they're able to like have this career fair, or in other way, entrepreneur night, where they could present their products and sell it. Of course, that's not part of the traditional curriculum, so you're in essence putting extra money down for your kid to like learn entrepreneurship.
Right, not part of the school.
Not part of the school, right? Because that's if you, God forbid, you try to sell your product as a kid to other kids in the school, you're in trouble. But after school, in the school building, that's fine through an outside organization that organizes.
Oh yeah,
yeah. You know what I mean? Like that. So that's a lot of the problems when it comes to the school system.
No, like my son, I have him trying to flip Pokemon cards right now. He asked me for money the other day because he wants to, he saw some sneakers or something that he likes. I said, okay. So as soon as he asked me for the sneakers, I said, okay. I made him look up how much are the sneakers, right? They're like $100-something. Okay, right? So I said, how are you gonna get the money?
Right.
He's like, I gotta figure out. I said, yeah, exactly. You have to figure out how you're going to get the money because I'm not giving it to you. I said, let's figure out a way to do that. I said, well, what do you have that maybe do you not want something? He goes, well, I got these Pokemon cards that I don't like some of them. I like these, I don't like those. I was like, maybe, but I was like, do your friends like them? He goes, yeah. I was like, take them to school, the ones you don't like, and see if someone wants to buy them. He goes to school and he says, oh, my friend said he might want to give me $1 for some of them.
Right.
And guess what? He went to school. He brought like 10 cards and showed a couple of his friends if he wanted to buy some Pokemon cards. Guess how much he made?
How much?
Nothing. Nothing. He came back. I was like, what happened? He goes, my friends didn't want any of the cards. I was like, well, what happened? He goes, well, they liked them, but one friend wasn't into Pokemon. The other one just didn't really like the cards. I was like, so you made no money. I said, good. First lesson in business.
Yeah.
Right? You got to find someone who wants what you have to sell.
Right.
I was like, so you got to figure something else out. Let's keep looking.
Right.
Right? That's a business school.
And you know what? For those of you that are, with young children right now in the school system, if you want to help them think outside the box,
you have to. You have to.
You have to instill that early on. Like I said, I was always that kid that just went out and did that on my own. But I did, and I do encourage my children to do that as well, as does Bobby, because, we know at the end of the day, this becomes a game of buying and selling. That's what the economy is all about. That's what everyone goes to work for every day. And I try to remind my kids every day that when they ask me about how things work in the business world or in economics or industry, it's just a game of buying and selling. You're either buying a product, buying a service, selling a product, selling a service. And for those of you that are working jobs, you're selling your time for for that service. You're selling your time to your employer, because you don't work for free. So you're still selling something. You just agree to sell your time, whether on an hourly basis
or salary.
And for those of you that are on a commission base, you're selling a product for just that sale, for that commission. It's all a game of buying and selling. I think we're at a point where the culture has to shift. Would you agree with this? And their mindset has to change about what selling is.
Yeah, I mean, the stigma taken with selling is that selling is bad. Because, you think about salesmen and women who are, just pushy.
Like the finance industry?
Yeah. Well, guess what? They're dying.
Yeah.
They're dying because they know that, hey, guess what? You used to be pushy as a salesperson because not everybody had the information. So, if I was trying to sell you some Tupperware, back in the day, or whatever the case may be, or dictionary or mixer, like Ray Kroc, you didn't know how a mixer worked. You didn't know what about them. So I gave you the information on how this thing worked or what the product was. And my job was to push you to make that sale because you didn't really want to buy or you had an idea, but you didn't have nowhere else to go anyway.
Right.
So I would push you into it. Now, you could be talking and trying to sell me something. I could be looking at my phone and getting the information on how that product works or where I could find it cheaper.
Right.
So everything's changing in the sales game but how you sell, but at the end of the day, Jay is right. It's all about buying and selling. Whatever like I know you could be an artist or you're very creative, and by the end of the day, you have a service or product. You make music. Guess what? You can make beautiful music, and if nobody ever listens to it and shares how you feel about that music, it's really not going anywhere. Like it could be a hobby. That's great, but if you want it to become a business, someone's going to have to buy it. Mm-hmm. And you're going to have to know how to sell it to somebody. You make art or you do crafts or something like that. Hey, you can make love doing crafts. All the power to you. But we're talking to the people that say, hey, I make crafts, but I want to make a business out of it. Okay, that's a different story. This ain't no hobby no more. Right? This ain't Hobby Lobby. Now we want to make some coin on this thing. So you now need to learn how to treat this like a business. Right? And in your history, like all our past jobs, our current job, everything that we learned, it hasn't been in vain. No. Like one of our mentors, like, you hate working in vain. Like, I hate doing something because you think it's in vain. We want you to switch your mindset. If you're working in a job right now, that job no longer becomes your only source of income. It doesn't become who you are. It's not, your dreaded job and you hate it. You switch that mindset. Now that job is all good. I have an income stream that's helping me pay for my current expenses so I can go work on my business. Mm-hmm. My current job is helping me learn a couple things that I could pick out of my job that I could put toward my current business or the one that I want to have. You got to flip that positive mindset because, hey, if you work a job, you're spending 8 hours of your life a day. You can't let it drain you because I know it's rough, but you got it. Like I used to say to Jay all the time, where's your spoon? Remember I used to say this? You got to take the spoon and dig your way out of this job. Start digging. Dig it. Dig your way out. Why they're not looking, dig. They think you love this job, but you're digging that little hole. You're digging that little business hole, right? And you're like, I'm going to get out of here one day and I'm going to have my own business. Right. Listen, word of advice. Key. In the video, you should put like a little sound or something here where it says key or something because major key.
Major key.
Pay
attention.
Don't tell anyone about your spoon.
All right.
If you have coworkers in your job, 99% of them don't want to have a business. And you're saying, hey, I work this part-time business or I want to, have my own business. And they see you have that spoon, they're going to rip on you. Right. And you're going to spend a lot of energy trying to combat that. Forget it. Shut up. Take that spoon and dig and dig and dig and dig quietly. And just talk to people that are interested in business. Send us a message on, Facebook or messages on in the comments here in the bio or something. Message say, hey, we want to talk to you about your spoon because your boss, they're going to try to take your spoon away.
Yeah.
Screw that.
They will because, the thing is they want you dependent on the job itself, so you got to go in there with a plan, all right, they're paying me basically to work my way out of this job. Mm-hmm. Do what you got to do, I think at some point you just get to a point where you maybe want to just do the bare minimum and get out of there so you can go work on your business. You know,
Yeah.
basically turn your hobby, the thing you love that you're passionate about, into a business. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The other thing with that, so that's one thing, is being passionate about what you do and creating a business out of it. The other side of that is you got to find that there is a market. And in today's world, it works so much better for the smaller person, for the little guy or gal, to be able to, you know, jump in and gobble up some market share, because, you know, you have the internet. You have so many ways to communicate. You have so many ways to reach people, and not just reach people, but reach people in your niche market. And it's kind of going back to that lesson you were trying to get your son to understand, is you got to find the people that would want what you have to sell.
Yeah.
So guess what? Technology gives you that option now. You know, there's so many ways to get in front of the target market you want. You know, one of the things that we'll probably talk about, and we'll share our wealth of knowledge, because sure, we both did go to college. We realized later on, like, man, we could have learned a lot of this stuff on our own, online, you know, things like that, as the world was changing. You know, but one of the things that I remember clearly, as early as I can remember as a business student, was always target market. You know, and what's your target market? Now it's considered target audience.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you communicating to? Nowadays, it's so easy to do that and so cheap to do that,
Mm-hmm.
that you can always go out and do that.
Yeah, like even currently, like us, the 2%er, our brand, our target market is those who want to be in business. Whether you're brand new, you're a young entrepreneur starting out and you want to get into business, or those who are in business and they have a small business or they have one, but they want to get to another level, and they want the know-how and the positivity and the ideas and the camaraderie to do that. That's our target market. It doesn't matter what industry it's in, because it's all, at the end of the day, it all boils down to the same business ideas, positivity, mental state, everything. But our target market is that specific person that wants to become a 2%er, that wants to be in business, has chosen to do that, and it won't stop doing that. Most people, one of the mistakes we made in business is, we thought, well, if we market to everyone, you get bigger, you'll get more reach because we market to everyone. No, that doesn't make any, at the end of the day, doesn't make any sense. Yes, there's a larger amount of the volume of people that are there, but why am I going to market to someone, for example, how business is, or what to do in business, to the person that's, that loves their job and never wants to leave it? Like, they're in there for life. Like, that's their job. They never want to leave that. That makes no sense.
Right.
I'm going to waste money, advertising money, or just my own strength just to market and do that kind of stuff meant to someone else. Doesn't make any sense. So, like, one key, like we learned in business, is if you, whatever it is that you want to show people about or tell people about in your business, or grow, find out what that niche market, that small market of people that are diehard fans of it, right? I'll give you an example. Jay loves Star Wars. I hate Star Wars, right? Not that I hate it, don't get me wrong, right? It's just I don't find it interesting. Like,
I love the Lucas Star Wars. Not this new
God,
stuff
I just
with
started
Disney.
him. Here he goes. Here he goes. Listen, the Lucas Star Wars, to me, I don't want to offend you, Jay. I'm sorry. I just mean that I watched all the original, traditional ones, whatever you call them, because he made me watch them, right? I just don't find it that interesting, right? I like the fact of the business of what George Lucas did. That's interesting. But for me, I don't need to talk about that, and I don't want to market it because I have no interest in that whatsoever. Right? So why should I talk about it? He does. So he has interest in, so he relates to that, and he can market to that. He can talk about that. He can do all that because he has they have an interest. He's not, he puts out some advertising money to get me online to talk about Star Wars. Whoop. That's it. You just wasted that on me, that click on me.
Right.
I'm not going to convert. I'm not converting, my friend. No. It's not going to happen. Right? Stick to your market. Figure out what it is. Even if you think it's small, trust me, you want to have that army of 1,000 people that are diehard followers, consumers, that buy your product, whatever, all the time. That's where you start. Because other than that, once you get to know how to do that, hey, you could do it to anyone. It's just finding out who that target market is. And most people make that mistake in the beginning. I want to tell everybody. Just like my 8-year-old son just figured out, I'm going to sell Pokemon cards. Dude, they don't like Pokemon. You're screwed. Find something else.
Right.
He didn't get it.
Right,
He didn't get it. But I'm glad he learned that lesson now, because I had to learn that later on, years later. He learned it now at 8.